When and why did you decide to host a CDE here at Shady Oaks?
Because Grandma gave me too much wine one night, or maybe I had too much wine on my own one night, and I said, wouldn't it be a good idea to do a CDE? And Phyllis said, I don't think so. It's a lot of work. We probably wouldn't have built Shady Oaks as it is had we thought about it in that magnitude in the beginning.
Since its birth 18 years ago, the Shady Oaks Combined Driving event has become one of the best of its kind in North America. Every year, driving teams flock to the small wine town of Lodi, California to compete at one of the premier driving venues in the country. Featuring miles of manicured roads, a collection of world-class obstacles, and a beautiful dressage court, the Shady Oaks CDE is the definition of excellence.
This is the epitome.
This is one of the best places in the world.
It's the one that I tell all my friends to come to.
This event in particular is just the cream of the crop.
This is what you strive for. Your goal is to get to Shady Oaks.
We train all year to get here.
It's the best event I can think of in all the West Coast and maybe even the nation.
Yeah, I think this will be one of the best CDEs we've ever been to.
Our introduction to combined driving came with a vacation trip to some friends' home in Coeur d'Alene. We got to their house and Mike and Siggy said, we're training a horse for combined driving. And we said, what is combined driving? And Mike said, well, jump on the carriage with me. And Fritz jumped on the carriage with him and they took off into the forest. And the next time I saw Fritz, he was a combined driver.
A lot of people get interested in combined driving because of the second day, which is the marathon. But it was out there on his horse driving through the trees, and he said, now we see you can go through the trees the fastest and turn around and come back and go, and the horse has to be able to do all this stuff. And I said, whoa, that sounds really interesting. We came back home, we started gathering the equipment we needed and trying to figure out how we could do combined driving.
Yeah, we had Judd Wright, and the first thing Judd said was, well, if you're interested in combined driving, you have to go to Windsor. We said, Windsor? He said, yes, Windsor Palace. If you really want to see combined driving, you should head to Windsor Palace. So
we went over there with this tour, and we stayed real close to where the Windsor Palace was, which is, most people have seen on TV. It's pretty magnificent. People from all over the world come there for the competition. That was quite a show.
It was quite a show.
And it actually helped set the bar. The first year we competed was at Chehalis, Washington in 1997. So I was 60 years old. We've never competed. Got a pair of halflingers that have never competed. Judd Wright, who never competed himself. And we all drive to Chehalis to compete in our first one. Had a very good time for our first show, the training level. And I can remember saying, Grandma, who could win anything more than this?
Fast forward 8 years, and Fritz and his team were competing at the advanced level and taking home the U.S. Pairs Driving Championship. This title earned them a coveted slot on the U.S. equestrian team. Later on that year, the team traveled to Salzburg, Austria to represent the United States in the World Championships. It only took the team 4 more years to add another prestigious title to their collection. In 2009, Fritz, along with his gelding Yumiko, became the U.S. singles driving champion.
When we first thought of the idea to build a CDE event here at Shady Oaks, we didn't think of it as a grand scale as it ended up. It's just over time we go, oh, we can make it a little bit better, and we can make it a little better. And then we started having international judges and international course designers. And they said, do you realize what you could have if you could have this? And we'd go, okay, we'll do it. And a lot of the course designers that we've had here said, never been to a place in the world we just say, can you do it? And you go, yeah, we'll build it.
My favorite part is the beautiful grounds. This is one of the best places in the world.
It's such a privilege to drive here. The course is lovely. There just isn't anything about it that doesn't just make you sing in your heart. It's so wonderful.
I've always liked it here. It's nice, cool, great looking venue, great area, kind of pretty much high end for around here.
It's such a beautiful setting. It's very, very pretty. I'm going to be sad to see it go.
I'm very sad it's the last year because it's such a lovely venue, and at least I got to come. So that was pretty special.
We just love coming to California. The grounds are so pretty and there's grass. It's just a great place to be.
I just did my early morning dressage walk of the dressage court, and the dews on the grass and the low morning lights coming through the oak trees. It's great.
We're very fortunate here to be able to have 1,300 acres and probably 15 miles of roads to drive on. So there's lots of options that we are able to have because of that amount of acreage and land. So we called Hardy Zanke and he said, you know, you're complaining about all the problems of every year you go into the landfill facility and have to reset up everything. You don't have permanent hazards. It's not perfect. We have a nice ranch. We can maybe build a facility. So Hardy Zanke came up here and helped us with the layout. And then we had some of the great professionals. Richard Nickel came out and designed some of the hazards. A couple of them, the bridge that I did. We've seen hazards all over the world as well as all over the United States and got a chance to glean from the best of those. So the first hazards were the apple boxes, the watering hole, the fort,
and the bullpen.
And then subsequently we added the bridge and the big top.
And Don't Fence Me In.
Don't Fence Me In.
What's the most challenging obstacle or thing you face here?
Bullpen.
I hate the bullpen.
Probably the bullpen. Bullpen, I think.
I used to say the bullpen. Now I think it might be the fort.
The most fun obstacle is the fort of no appeal.
I think it's the fort of no appeals.
Either the apple boxes or the fort.
I think the fort.
For me, it's the arbor. I was having dreams last night about hazard number 2.
The first water.
Anything in water.
Here, the bridge is always a challenge.
I would say the duck pond.
Duck pond.
The duck pond.
While not all the competitors can agree on the hardest obstacle,
My favorite part of any CDE is the marathon. That's the most fun ever you can have with your clothes on.
nearly all of them love the marathon.
My favorite part is the marathon because I'm the navigator now for my friends, and I like to sit on the back and tell them where to go and what to do and how to do it. All of it, the speed. Yeah, the marathon.
Everything marathon.
Definitely the marathon.
Oh, it has to be the marathon.
Well, the marathon hazards are so beautiful.
The marathon's where you get to go quick and get dirty.
Yeah, you always want to have a safe drive and have fun.
A beautiful setting and a world-class course are only part of the equation for a CDE. The heart and soul of any event is the people. For many competitors, Shady Oaks is more than just a competition. It's a family gathering.
Even though I'm from British Columbia, this is my home showing area. I probably see more familiar faces here than I do anywhere else. So it's really kind of like a home.
It's a whole culture for me, and it's a way of life for my wife and I.
Everybody's real friendly. It's a fun thing.
I'd have to say the competitors, the community here is really positive and supportive.
Yeah, I really enjoy the people and all the people getting together and just having a good time.
Just the fun times of spending time with friends and doing things that I've always enjoyed doing with horses.
Even though Shady Oaks is at the end of its road, its legacy will continue to live on.
I can vividly remember being at the watering hole, watching Mr. Grupe come through, and I turned to my wife and I said, I want to do this. So here I am, several years later, and I'm able to do it.
And got into the CDEs mostly because Fritz encouraged me to do it, and really have enjoyed it.
I came to their event in about 2004 or 5 and looked at it, and I'd never seen a CDE before, and I thought this is really exciting. This is something I'd like to do, and a couple years later I was doing it. So
You've been to our place, and I've always tried to emulate this.
We run a couple CDEs too at our house, and they've been very gracious with helping us with our CDEs.
is this really your...
Winner of the press, our hostess Fritz Grupe.
We as a sport and all our participants really owe them a huge debt of gratitude for everything they've done to elevate the quality of competition on the West Coast. And there's no way to thank them enough.
I think the legacy for Shady Oaks would be it set another standard of quality for people to achieve in the Western United States. So Shady Oaks set a bar. If you ask other people to put on CDEs, they said this set our sights at another level of what we also could do.
I would hope it's been very inspirational for everyone who's come and been a part of it, because we were inspired by others, and we hope that others have been inspired by coming and being a part of this process. Now we see 3 events here in Northern California. When we started this, there was only 1. And so we're excited that
And the one was us.
The one was us, right? So we're hoping that these other venues will continue, and we can continue to help them and continue to drive and enjoy driving, and we're not going away.